I forget what the actual, it was the
education,
general education something.
Degree.
I think it's general education degree, but I'm not sure. But there was another name for it at the time. There was like a special like actor's degree you could get, which basically just meant I tested out of school.
Right. So that you didn't have to do school anymore.
Mm-hmm. This is why I remember that is because David on like the first day like came to come do school because like Linda, his mom, wanted to do school, and they were like, no. We didn't hire a teacher for you. We're not doing that because it saves them money not having to pay people to teach and also saves them time because he doesn't have to bank school hours.
Right, of course.
Like, so they were like, you already offered this up. I had it too. I just didn't tell anybody.
Right.
I only
really?
I had it as well because I took the test and tested out, but my mom's like, we're only going to use it in our back pocket if it's down to like you and one other person to get the job. And then if that's the deciding factor, if that's the deal breaker, we'll use that card. I never ended up having to use it.
I'm glad because then you guys got to do school and together and I mean there was 2 different teachers on
we had so many teachers.
Yeah, different.
We had so many teachers.
You ran them off, right?
No, it wasn't that. Well, the first teacher we had was Maura.
Mm-hmm. Who I worked with later.
Who was amazing. I worked with her.
Sorry, and she was my brother Michael's teacher on a show that he did called One Big Family with Danny Thomas. Yeah.
She's done so many great projects. Her and Laura, who was our teacher later. But Maura we had for the first season, and then she got another job. I think she's teaching on Young Sheldon now. But I love her. I'm still in contact with her. I love her. I met her when I was 11, 12.
You worked on something else with her?
Yeah, I worked on House with her. That's how I met her. And we actually stayed in her house. She went to do one of the Superman movies in Australia. And we stayed in her house and watched her dog Rex. Like when we were, he was the best dog.
Well, you have to tell her I said hi.
I will. And then we had Laura, who was amazing. Still in contact with her as well. She was towards the end of the show. We had Eva, that was Jake's teacher. And then we had Daphne. It was Daphne. Yeah, we butted heads with Daphne. Yeah, that one we ran off.
Oh my God, that video! I don't know if it was just lunch or you
Daphne,
guys were in school.
We were rough.
But you and Selena doing like talking to the camera, and it was like back in the day when it was. What are you going to put that on YouTube or something?
Yeah,
right?
YouTube was the thing at the time.
Oh, it's so
no,
funny.
there was.
But was that in school? Would you guys?
We did. So the one most people know, that one was in Puerto Rico.
Oh,
that was in Puerto Rico where we were supposed to be doing school hours and we were not. And part of the reason we ran Daphne off is she was very like on the letter, by the book, whatever. She didn't really meet us in the middle of like, hey, we're kids. And like, because what was hard is like when you're in high school as a regular person, not that we're not regular people, but
right.
in a different
setting, yeah.
Like on an actual high school is you have time to socialize and you have time to hang out. Well, we didn't. We were either working and had time to be kids between sets, or it was all school and she wanted us to just focus straight for the 3 hours, which no 15-year-old or 14-year-old's going to do that.
Right.
And then she also I guess we thought we were like way younger. So she like didn't take into, so I don't know if she was used to teaching younger kids or what, but anyway, yeah, she hated my cursing. She was like super like Christian. So she was like, Jesus doesn't like the stuff that comes out of your mouth when it's a curse. And I'm like, I love Jesus, but I cuss a little. You know what I mean?
Well, the whole thing.
So we just butted heads. It's just personality.
The cussing thing for me is we give those words pertinence.
Yeah.
If cup was the same meaning as fuck, that you put it on there, it's like
there would be a lot of really bad mistakes.
Yeah, and it's how it's used.
I agree.
I could say mean things to you and not curse. I'd rather and then you say curse words and it doesn't matter.
I realized later in life that I started, because I was like, why did I start cursing? Why do I curse like a sailor still to this day? And I realized that it was something that I did as a child to take away the veneer that I was a kid on sets, because I was always around adults. I hated being talked down to. I hated being condescended to. So I started cursing, and that sort of like would take adults back, and then they would treat me like an adult. So that was a tactic that I guess for some reason I adopted because I wanted to be a peer.
Yeah,
I didn't want to be just the kid on set or whatever, and like cut out of things or like left out of conversations because they felt like I couldn't keep up.
Right.
Which is interesting, just kind of like looking back on that.
It's interesting how the relationship with your teachers and stuff, because, you when you go to high school, you have like 6 different teachers doing different things, but you had one teacher doing all these different,
Did you have a teacher that you found really formative when you were at school?
Oh my God, Mr. Stolper.
Isn't it funny how that name sticks with you?
He was my history teacher. He was a surfer, and I loved history class. This was either 8th grade or 9th grade. And we'd talk about the Roman times or something, and I would always ask.
In the fucking Roman Empire.
I know, what is that? Have you seen this?
Yes, I have.
Fucking Yulia is filming me, and she's like, David, how often do you think about the Roman times? Yulia sounds like my brother Peter. And I'm like, I don't know, like.
Daily?
Well, every once in a while, every other day or once a week. And she was like, what the fuck? But there's a whole series on people, being asked that. And some people are like all the time. And I realized what it is. The Romans back in the day, or the Egyptian people, they really figured out how to do shit clever ways. Like the way they built like a bridge or like pylons.
So it's like the printing press of people. It's like a really like impactful invention.
What's interesting to me, they used to build like they would build a moat or an empty moat, and then they would build the pylons, and then they would let the water go back in. And Jen is laughing at me, but it was interesting how they did that, how they do those things. So
see, I'm more partial to the Egyptians. I've always been fascinated by the Egyptians.
Okay, so fuck the Romans.
They did. The Egyptians did.
What I meant was
Cleopatra.
But that doesn't. It's more of a male thing to think about that.
I think the Roman Empire, I feel like is. I feel like this is an oversimplification, but I feel like there's a brainstem element to men, and I feel like there's a brainstem element in the fact that it's like, I hate you, I kill you. Like, you know what I mean? I like you, I fuck you. Like, there's just like this mindset of like, you have this instinct and you act on it, which is why like men die so much more than women. Because women stop and think about things. And I'm not saying, like I said, this is a vast oversimplification. People are way more nuanced than this, but in general,
right.
So I think that's why men like the Roman empires. It's this really kind of carnal, rough, like acting on like emotions.
Impulse, yeah. And if you haven't seen this kind of smash up,
everyone's
watch
seen
it.
This at this
It's
point.
okay, but it's so funny. And then there's one guy who's reacting. Hey, honey, how often do you think about the Romans? And he's like, every hour.
Oh no. Have you seen? There's a great.
What is the female thing though?
There's been a lot of videos of people being like, "Oh, this is my Roman Empire," and a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's Taylor Swift or it's whatever."
Or
but
doing
like
your nails, men don't think about doing their nails.
Women don't think about doing their nails.
Oh my God, Yulia thinks about doing her nails every 5 seconds.
Really?
She loves her nails. I do her nails.
What?
Dee Dee does nails. Everybody, I paint her nails sometimes.
Well, then who the fuck is Dee Dee?
Dee Dee, me, David DeLuise.
Good night, everybody. I'm like, who the fuck
is there vodka in there?
Oh, no, in here, all vodka in here.
Hey, thank you so much for watching this clip of Wizards of Waverly Pod. And for the full episode, go to the Wizards Pod YouTube channel. The link is in the description.
And for exclusive weekly bonus content, join our Patreon now. There's a link in the description for that too. Thanks for watching.
Bye now.